In the previous lesson, we learned how to use custom formatting in order to add arrows here to show the differences between sales and target, and we did the same for percentage differences. In this lesson, we're gonna go to more complicated cases, so we're gonna learn how to add smiley faces, other types of arrows. We're also gonna look at having arrows based on a threshold and not just only for positive and negative differences. And then we're gonna learn how to do the same, but to have the thresholds in cells instead of having them hard-coded. Now, if you haven't seen the previous lesson, I'm gonna put a link in the description, and I strongly advise you to go look for it, see it before you see this video. Now, one thing I'm gonna say is that all what you see can be done with conditional formatting, but custom formatting is better than conditional formatting because one, it is way faster. So I tried this on 30,000 cells and I found out that it's 3 times faster using custom formatting. Two, it's very easy to set up. If you see, for example, the formulas behind are very simple. And three, you don't have to have multiple rules. So let's start. Again, if you want to look at custom formatting, you can see this in the previous video. If you want to look at conditional formatting, I'm gonna put also links to other lessons in the description. So we're gonna go to this sheet, which is the same sheet as the other one, but here we don't have our smiley faces and so on. And we're gonna do this. So the first thing I'm going to show you before we start, if we go down, there is something called Uni Character in Excel. So basically, if you take the Uni Character of a number, you will get different symbols. So I took 4 of them. For this one, for example, is 128513, and the other one is a different number, etc. Now, I'm going to show you where I got this from, and I'm going to show you an alternative way that is also very easy to use. So if you go to the internet, you have this website. I'm going to also put this in the description. And in this, you can see all the unique characters. So for example, those are emojis. If I use this number, I can get this kind of emoji and so on. And you have so many of them if you see. See, from animals to hands to clothes, etc. There are so many. So you can look at this site and choose what you like and then do what I've done here. Use those characters to get those emojis and arrows. Or you can go to this website, getemoji.com, which I'm going to put in the description, and you write, for example, dog, and you search for dog, and then you'll find some emojis. For example, this is a dog emoji. You can click and you can copy paste it. So there are several options for this. Now let's go back and let's start on our Excel. So first thing I'm going to do is a formula. I'm going to say sales minus target. Then I get this, I get the delta. I'm going to drag it and I'm going to use the same formula for my other cells. I'm going to drag this and there you go. The rest becomes actually very simple. So what we're going to do first is the emojis, right? So let's copy paste the emojis somewhere so we can have access to them. So for example, I'm going to take those 2 or those 4. I'm going to go to my notepad. Then I'm going to paste this here and I have them, right? Next, we're going to use custom formatting. So we select this, we go under home, we click on the arrow, and then we go under number and then custom. We remove all this and we say, first we want positive, right? So we say color 10. Again, this is sensitive based on the language. So if your language of the Excel is not English, you need to search for the right term for this. And as we saw in the last lesson, you have here your color. So I'm going to also put this in the description so you can select some of those colors. For example, I'm using color 9 and color 10. We go back to our Excel and we say color 10. Then we say double quotation. We go to our notepad, we take the happy face, we paste it, Control C, Control V, double quotation, and then semicolon. So this is the positive case. The negative case, again, we put square bracket, color 9, we close the square bracket, open double quotation, go to your notepad, Control C, Control V, again, close double quotation, and then you can put a semicolon and you say OK. And there you go. As you can see, I get green smiley faces and red smiley faces. We're going to do the same for the arrows. So we take this, select it, go to custom formatting, then do the same color 10. Then we open double quotation, go to our notepad, copy this arrow, double quotation, semicolon, then open square bracket, color 9, you close it, double quotation, we go and select our other symbol, Control C, Control V, and double quotation, and then we have a semicolon. We say OK, and there you go. You can click, double click here, and then you'll get this. The next one is a bit more tricky. We want to have the arrows, those arrows, only for the cases where it's more than 50% the deviation. So if you see here, I have my arrows for cases that are above 50%. So I don't have arrows here, and I have the arrows for cases below 50%. So this is a custom formatting with threshold. Now, I told you in the previous lesson that you can use custom formatting with 4 arguments. The format for positive numbers, the format for negative numbers, and this is what we have done in the previous example, then the zeros and the text. You could also use custom formatting with arguments based on conditions. So we're gonna do this together. First of all, we're gonna get the percentage. So we're gonna do equal sales minus the target over the target. We do a percentage, make it a bit bigger, and then we drag it. So we select our numbers, we go to the arrow, we click on it, number, custom numbers, and then we have to change this. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is use colors. So I'm gonna say color 10, which is my more than 50% case, and then I'm gonna do double quotation. I go to my notepad. This time I'm gonna copy both arrows. I'm gonna put them here. I'm gonna use the positive arrow, and then I'm gonna put double quotation. Now here we haven't put the condition. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a condition. So instead of a positive thing that it assumes, I'm gonna give the condition to Excel. So I open and close my square brackets, and inside I put bigger than 0.5. Bigger than 0.5 mean more than 50%. So don't write 50%, put 0.5 when you have percentages. Next, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna say color 9. This is my second condition. Then I open the double quotation, paste my arrows. I keep only the down arrow, double quotation, semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon. So what I miss in this is the condition, right? So I do open square bracket, close square bracket, and then I do less than minus 0.5. So less than minus 50%. So what's missing here is the zero formatting. So I'm going to use white. So again, square bracket, white. And then you close the square bracket, semicolon. You say OK. And as you can see, I get my arrows. So now we can do this and format it, and we are done. Now all this is good, but the problem is, what if I don't want to have this 50% hard-coded in the custom formatting? I want to have it in cells like here. So I want to highlight everything above 5% and below minus 5%. So how do I do this? First of all, I'm going to calculate the percentage difference. Same formula, equal, open bracket, sales minus target over target. Then you drag this, you click on this under home, so you have a percentage, and we're gonna do the same here. So we have 2 times the same information. We divide it by target, we put our parentheses, we say OK, then we drag it and press here. So what we're gonna do here first is just color in red or in green the positive or negative numbers as we have here. So let's do it. We click here under home again, go custom formatting, then here we can put color 10, then semicolon, and then color 9, we close the square bracket and then semicolon. And we have this, we need it in percentage, right? So what do? We go to our custom format, and instead of general, we put 0%. For this, you can check also the previous lesson. I explained why and how. So if you do this, you get your numbers. So here it's a bit more tricky because in the previous example, I had to hard code the threshold in the custom formatting, and custom formatting doesn't take a cell reference. So what do I do here? I have to modify my formula to take care of this scenario. So we're gonna start again. We're gonna say if this equation is bigger than this cell, and we can fix this cell with an F4, then what happens? I will put the number 1 in the cell. Next, if it's not bigger than this, we're gonna check our second condition. So we do if, again, we take this number, we put it here, smaller than minus 5%, then I'm gonna say minus 1. Other than that, I'm gonna put 0. Then you close those parentheses, so you have it correct, and then you fix the AC3 cell with F4. So then when you drag, you won't have any problem, and you get this. So if I format this number, can use the comma here, just to show you, I get what? I get minus 1 for cases where it is less than minus 5%. So as you can see here, it's like 6% less than the target. Then if I drag this, I will get 0 for cases where it is between minus 5% and 5%, like those cases. And I'll get 1 for cases bigger than 5%, and so on. So now the last step we need to do is use our custom formatting. So we select this, we go under home, press on the arrow, number, and custom. And then what do? We do open square brackets, color 10, close square brackets. If it's color 10, what do I need? I need the arrow up, right? So I take the arrow up from here. I'm going to copy paste both arrows. I'll paste them here, close the double quotation, and we remove the down arrow. We just delete it. Why this will work for positive numbers? Because I have written in my cells that any number that meets my condition of above 5%, I want a 1. The other ones are either 0 or minus 1. So you won't have any number that will interfere with your positive cases. There is only one positive case, which is 1, when I have 1 in my cell. Then I use semicolon, color 9, then I close the square brackets, double quotation, paste, double quotation, and I remove my top arrow. Then semicolon. If you see here again, I have only one case where it will be negative. It's the case when the numbers are less than minus 5%, right? And then I have my 0 cases. The 0 cases, I don't want this dash. I want to remove it and have a white space. So we do square bracket, white, and then semicolon. And you say OK. And here you go. As you can see, only cases that are less than minus 5%. So here, by the way, I didn't add the minus in front of the 6%, so we can just add it for those of you if you are confused. So here you just come and you do minus 0% as a format, so just so you can see it. So this case, for example, I have an arrow. This is minus 4%. I won't have an arrow because it's not fulfilling my conditions, and so on. So if I change my condition, let's say that now instead of 5% positive, I want 2%. So that means that for this 3%, I need an arrow. So I'm going to change this, and as you can see, you get an arrow here, and so on. So you can fix your formula here and then use custom formatting to get your desired result.